This video is sponsored by Hobbynut Models. Check the link in the description below for more details. Hey, I'm John. Welcome to Mr. G's Workbench and episode 4 of our Magic Factory Corsair F4U-1A build. With a special guest appearance by the Dash 2 before the end of this episode, by the way. Today we're going to finish up some of the rest of the airframe stuff, horizontal stabilizer work, things like that. And then we're going to get the 1A in paint ready for markings today. So by the end of this episode, I'll explain my paint work to you, my process. I'll show you a little of it. It's really hard for me I don't have a good setup for showing paint. I don't paint at my workbench like some other YouTubers do, so sorry. I'll do my best to explain it. So before we get started, thanks for stopping in. If you're a subscriber, thanks for coming back. And if you're one of my channel member family whose names are scrolling up the screen right now, thank you folks for your additional support of the channel. If you're interested in becoming a channel member, just hit the join button at the bottom and you can take a look at what it entails. Really hard to speak today. But again, props to my channel members. Don't forget to check out the merch in my shop. I got the F4 Phantom Fiesta t-shirts, mugs. We've got, just remember these? I did my little intro the last time with it. So we've got mugs, we've got shirts. Be sure to check it out. The link is down below in the description. And that's all my my stuff for today. So thank you for being patient. So let's jump in. I'll show you what's going on with the Corsair, and I'll talk my way through it. All right. So take a look. So here you can see we're starting work on installing the bulletproof glass before we put the windscreen in. This is on the Dash 1A. Then we repeat it on the Dash 2, which has a completely different bulletproof windscreen and then canopy. I really like the fact that there were two different ones. Good attention to detail. And Magic Factory provides pre-cut masks for all the canopies in the kit. So thank you very much, Magic Factory. Another great touch. So here we're getting ready to tack in the canopies to facilitate painting the fuselage. You can see I pre-painted the dark sea blue around the opening to make it easier later on. Next we're going to install the horizontal stabilizers on both Corsairs. The fit was pretty good. They're a little loose when you put them in. You have to wait for the glue to really grab. And then once they're there, just get them lined up. And then I used a little bit of Vallejo putty to clean up those gaps. Here I'm installing the engine with some CA. I'm going to put the cowling in later on in the paint process. All right. I'm going to give a more detailed breakdown at the end of this segment. But you can see here I've sprayed some aluminum on the inner parts of the upper wings to facilitate chipping later on. After that aluminum was sprayed on and dried, then I applied a coat of hairspray over the top of the silver areas for chipping later on, and I'll show you that. Makes life really simple. Here I'm using a Sotar 2020, and I'm going in with a diluted coat of the AK Real Colors Dark Sea Blue. That's going to be my base coat, and then I'll show you we're going to spray a thinned coat of that same color over the top of this once I do the entire top half. Okay, so here you go. Again, I did the entire top. I did segments in between the panel lines and where the rivet lines run to get that basic structure in. Now I'm going back and I'm covering the whole thing with a highly thinned coat of that same dark sea blue from AK Real Colors, which is a terrific paint, by the way. So what I'm going to do is I'm doing the whole top. Once I do the top, Then I'm going to do the intermediate blue and the white. Instead of going light to dark, I went dark to light. For this process, I think it worked better. All right, this is where the hairspray we applied over the aluminum paint comes into play. Now we finished painting that dark sea blue in. Now I'm taking a short bristle brush and some warm water, wetting the brush, and I'm going in and I'm scrubbing the areas that I want to remove the paint down to the metal. And then what I'll do later on to add additional distressing to it is I'm going to take some really thin coats of yellow zinc chromate and I'll go in around the edges of that chip paint to show like an intermediate wear down to the primer coat. I think it was pretty effective. So just a quick recap on how I progressed here. I started out, I did the dark sea blue on top first, and that was using AK's dark sea blue coincidentally. So I did all of this and this with, I started with the initial shade of dark sea blue, then I lightened it up, went back in and did like a second coat, trying to leave some irregular finish on it. Then I came back, lightened it up even more, did a third coat. Then I came back with some highly thinned of the original color, hit some of the panel lines again. Then I did the white next over a gray primer coat. This was the only area I did pre-shading in. I did some dark gray pre-shading on the panel lines on the bottom. That was it. Everything else is just the insignia white over the top. Then we started in with the intermediate blue. I used the same process with the intermediate blue that I did with the dark sea blue. Come in with the original color. Then I came in with a second lighter coat, third lighter coat, and then it's the darker coat of the intermediate blue. It's almost the same as the original color. So that's what I did there. The key here was just everything is irregular. You don't have to worry about having a spectacular finish. Look at any photograph of a land-based Corsair from the Pacific. It's beat to shit. So I've done my best to replicate that here. I've started to replicate the fuel stains from the top here on both sides. This side seemed to take it a little harder. So I did that. I'm going to come back later on when we do weathering, and I'm going to finish that out. I have a great picture of Pappy Boyington's Corsair where you can clearly see this well-focused, perfectly exposed fuel streak. So we're going to do that. The chipping, I did the aluminum paint on both inner wings. Then I did a coat of hairspray, dried that. Then I started in with the shades of blue. At the end, I came back and I used like a super thin, like 20% paint to 80% thinner, thinned out yellow chromate primer and used it to show wear in some spots, like close to the chipping. You know, that's my interpretation. You can let me know in the comments. Let me know what I could have did better if you think there's a better way. All right, first time doing painted on markings, and these masks from Hawaiian Air Depot went on pretty smooth. They cut everything around panel lines. You can see here, see along the flap there on the bottom and along the side there, the wingtip. Everything is made so you can't mess up the positioning. Here I've sprayed in Insignia White. I'm using AK's Real Colors Insignia White. Put that on. And then what we're going to do is we're going to come in and we're going to mask off the areas that are going to stay white. So you can see here, I wound up having to come back and redo these. The white areas wound up being too big. I should have used, there were other masks in the set that would have been closer to the correct size. So same principle applies. You mask off the white areas, and then you got to come back and you got to paint that insignia blue. So for the dark blue and the insignias, I wound up using Hataka's Dark Sea Blue, which was way different from AK Real Colors Dark Sea Blue. So it actually worked out well. It was easy to thin and spray. So you can see here I'm peeling off the masks for the white, which also happen to take off some of the white paint from that right side bar. So again, I'll be coming back and touching all of this up to fix that. And again, here you can see where Hawaiian Air Depot did the masks to fit along panel lines to make it easier to position them correctly. It was a really good touch. While we continue with the paint masks here, I just wanted to mention that I'm calling an audible. Originally, as I said in the first episode, I was doing Ace Ike Kepford's plane. And since I got these masks from Hawaiian Air Depot, I've chosen to do Pappy Boyington's Corsair number 883. A little more subtly marked, not as many, there's no kill flags or anything. I just found it to be much more appealing to do these paint masks with something like that. So you'll see they give you the masks here to cover up the overpainted areas where the original number was, and then 883 is going to be painted over the top of that. And you can also see where the masks are made to be placed along panel lines. So here we're peeling the masks off of the national insignia on the bottom of the wing. And again, they fit along panel lines. I can't stress that enough. It made it so much easier to place them and to check their alignment. And then pulled off the stars. Everything here was good. Those white areas could have been a little smaller. It's the same issue I had on the top, but it's nice and clean. I'm not going to go back and mess with it. I was fine with it. Here you can see those dark blue patches where the number was overpainted. I just used the original AK Real Colors Dark Sea Blue, and to give it a different hue compared to the Dark Sea Blue from Hataka that I used for the national insignia. All right, this is the last of the touch-ups. Let's get this mask off and see if I manage to fix my mistakes. I managed to peel a little bit more white off. Much better. Just got that one spot that chipped off. That's the third time I'm fixing that white patch there, so let me get the glare out here so you can see. So I think that's as good as I'm going to get here. And take that out. Come on. That out. Because I am officially calling done on the painting. There we go. So that's the wing. I've done the markings on both sides. I had a little bit of like an overspray runoff here, and I left it because it looks good, because it looks like paint's just kind of running down. So I went in, I touched up these stars and bars over here because I had kind of screwed the pooch over here. The white areas weren't big enough. Well, they were too big. So I went and I remasked them. I cut new masks, masked them up again, repainted the blue around it. Then they give you masks to paint in the dark blue painted areas here where the old number was painted over, and then the new number is painted in. So that's all masks. I'm happy with that. This is really my first time doing something like this. Same thing on the other side. I'm happy with that. Insignia on the bottom. Happy with that. I have masks to spray the lights. I'm going to do that later. I've also touched up the insides of the tail doors, and I had painted these earlier before I painted the main colors. So that's where I'm at, and that's where I think we're going to call it a day. So again, this is where we're at. I'm very happy with it. I'll give you a couple of close-ups before we close up for the day. I've just got that one chip that came out of the white on the upper left wing. I'll fix that by the time we get together again. But accomplished what I was hoping for. These paint masks are from Hawaiian Air Depot, as I mentioned. They're not a sponsor. I highly recommend you check them out, though. I mean, for $4, I've got masks. I can cut any one of 5 different planes out of it. They give you a national insignia, 3 styles, and everything is set up to line up with the panel lines on the kit. So I can't recommend them enough. I'm very happy with it. First time I did it, like I said. Thanks again to my sponsor, Hobbynut Models, for providing the kit that we're building. Next time we get together, I think we're going to finish up the F4U-1A, and we may have the 2 done as well, so that we can compare on the Dash 2. I'm going to do, I'm using decals, and the painting won't be as severe as it is on the 1A. So, hope you enjoyed it. If you did, can you do me a favor and just go down on the bottom right there, hit the thumbs up, and give me a like. It's very much appreciated. And if you're not a subscriber, I hope you decided to subscribe after this. Thank you to the over 4,300 people at this point who subscribed. It's very much appreciated. Thank you very much. See you guys next time. Take care. Stay well.